June 26th, 2018. Kind of exciting Tuesday morning going on. Boats loaded up, full of tackle. Every rod and reel I own, bass rod and reel I own. In the front, in the back, some in the rod lockers. Hard to believe, but the Tuesday, we're 10 days into the bass fishing season. I haven't even got all my rods tied up. I haven't even got to use all my rods. We fished one CSFL event, one club tournament, and today is the first day of like legit just going out, have some fun, catching some fish. We're going to a lake where you can do everything. Deep weed, frog fish, shallow fish, duck fishing. There's rock shoals to catch smallmouth on and to use that Panoptics unit. So the plan is to go there. I got a couple rods I want to set up. I got some new baits I want to try. We're just gonna spend the whole day plucking away, catching fish. Amazing lake. It's probably pretty hardcore post spawn, but there's a lot of small fish there we can catch even if the big ones won't go. Tomorrow it's supposed to thunderstorm like crazy, which means tomorrow's a write-off. Thursday's probably gonna be a write-off as well, as the fish don't like to bite after a storm. But the good news about the thunderstorm is when it's done, the heat's supposed to come. This is gonna set our smallies up on Rice Lake in deep water. Then we can start that priest fish to get those dialed in. Get the cameras out, find those fish so that when we have the CSFL event in a couple weeks, we're gonna pull it off. Let's get going because I'm excited to fish. Absolute gorgeous day. Made it to the lake. This lake is, in my opinion, hands down the best practice lake that I could possibly drive to within a day. Has everything you need. It's got big fish, it's got lots of fish, it's got deep spot where you can catch smallmouth, you can catch smallmouth shallow here, buckets here. These are important days. Not a tournament lake, doesn't see a ton of pressure, but you can practice everything, you can get confidence, you can try new things. Plan is I got her unhooked, we're gonna get her in the water, then we're gonna retie a couple rods, and I'll show you the first one as soon as we get out there. I'm excited about today. I like this lake a lot. Made it out on the lake, super excited to get to it. We never get flat, crystal calm days to rig rods on the boat. Always seems to be windy whenever I go hood fishing. Rod I want to retie. It's my Brennailer finesse rod, 7 foot. I got 50-pound braid on it. Now, what I want to do, and the reason I really wanted this Brennailer rod, is to Texas rig a Ned rig. I came to this lake last year. I had a tough bite, and I happened to just throw a little tiny Ned rig bait on a big tungsten weight and a big old hook. The only problem I had is that my braided line that I really like to use, after 4 or 5 fish and fishing it off rock, my line would break and I'd lose my tungsten weight and the fish. So this year, and what we're trying today, is we're gonna tie a uni knot, a double uni knot. You can Google that, I won't go through it. I've gone through it at least 5 times on the vlog. Just a short one too, just a short leader. We're not using, I don't really care that the fish see the braided line because it doesn't ever seem to bother them. I'm just trying to make it more abrasive, resistant to rocks, so I don't lose so many tungsten weights. So we get that double uni going. Now I don't need that much. We're talking less than a foot here. Bobber stops, where I can peg my weight. This doesn't work unless you peg your weight, tungsten weight. Now for today, I really want to try a smaller hook too. So we're gonna change it up from great big hook and we're gonna bring her down to a size 3/0 hook. Tie that on here. Simply gonna Texas rig this bugger, and this worked amazing last year. Pull that down, and it's gonna work just like my Ned rig. As soon as it hits the bottom, it's gonna stand up. I'm just gonna be able to fish it with a little heavier line and a little thicker weed. So hopefully that fluorocarbon helps it to stand up against those rocks a little better than the braided line. The other thing I wanna do today, pop the spinner bait off. I really need to get a little more confidence in throwing the buzz bait. I keep hearing from people that they catch giant post-spawn fish on buzz baits, like a reaction strike. So today I'm gonna put some time in and really just try to get a bite. That should give me a little more confidence. Throw it especially while I'm pre-fishing, I need to fish fast. It is an absolute beautiful day out here. Got my baits ready, most of my baits ready. If we do any more switching, I'll let you know, but it's flat, it's calm. We're on one of the best lakes to practice on. Let's catch some fish, or at least try to catch some fish.
Let's just do what you want to. Please don't be polite, cause I like your attitude. Let's forget about a curfew, cause all that is stuck in my head. It's me and you, pulse speed and my heart is racing, but I'm not sure I wanna face it, cause it only does this with you. Our bodies meet, I can feel the tension, move us into the next dimension. Let's just let our bodies be true.
buzz bait. Whoa! Missed it, but lost it again. Big old gator. That's crazy.
Let's live life without regrets. Girl, put your faith in me, even though we just met. Let's forget about a curfew, cause all that is stuck in my head. It's me and you, pulse speed and my heart is racing, but I'm not sure I wanna pace it, cause it only does this with you. Our bodies meet, I can feel the tension, move us into the next dimension. Let's just let our bodies be true.
Been out here a couple hours. I'm not sure how many fish we caught. Pike on the buzzbait was ultra cool though. Something I have not done any of this year, drop shotting. I'm gonna rig up my, is a Brand Ailer 7-1 drop shot rod, Daiwa Tatula. I got a Daiwa Tatula 2500 reel here. I'm going to spool this up for the first time, get her ready. I seen 2 giant smallmouth in the shallows, and normally these fish on this lake are really good at taking that Texas rigged Ned rig, but it seems today they aren't gonna do it. So I need to tie this rod up, and great time to show you guys how to tie a drop shot rod. I'm using 10-pound J-braid to a 6-pound fluorocarbon leader. This Brand Ailer rod actually has carbon fiber guides. Don't want your line from your knot to go through those carbon fiber lines. So I'm using about a 4-foot fluorocarbon leader. To pick my tag, I'm gonna use a fairly short tag since I've seen those fish on bottom. All you wanna do is tie a polymer knot. Super simple. It won't go through the knot, but you guys can Google that. It'll make a lot more sense if you Google it. Tie that on. One thing they're not going to show you on Google is when you get your knot tied, you wanna take the tag of your line and feed it back through the eye of the hook. That will get your bait to stand up better. I like to use a 3/8 ounce drop shot weight. Just helps me feel the bottom better. Simply gonna start drop shotting mini tube. All I'm gonna do to rig that is hook it through the nose. There we go. Drop shot rig. Let's see if that'll catch us a big one.
Goes down deep and under. We're stuck in this pattern, but I need you close. All I ever wanted was for you to prove me wrong. You're changing our colors again and again. I could never let you go.
Barely there. Mama, silent. Back. Man, that was a tough go.
Every time I look at you,
bud.
You pull me back into your river. Swim a little
Enjoy it.
deeper.
But this
I don't
one,
need to breathe.
see you,
My
bud.
head underwater. Not sure I really care. We're all of our demons. They never disappear. I will forgive you if you forgive me.
You don't know how happy that fish makes me. And it's not even 2 pounds. I got you! I got you!
All I ever
Found one.
wanted was for you to prove me wrong. You're changing our colors again and again. I could never let you go. Something about you feels so different. Makes me wanna risk it every
Look at
time I
that.
look
Camera
at you.
died. I watched them come out. Decent fish. Oh, it's been a struggle today. Oh, look at the size of the gut on that. I can't believe I didn't have the camera running and I got the biggest bass of the day. Way to go.
Like the others, they do not need to know. You said you fall with me, no matter how deep it goes. With my head underwater,
Here's why you swim the jig in between docks. Boom, swimming, black and blue mini jig in between the docks and pulls off a chunk. Man, I love this lake. What a fish that is. Booyah! In between the docks, swim that jig. You never know what's gonna happen. See you, my friend. Boom.
Off the water. Man, that was a tough morning full of northern pike. I hope that buzzbait fish I got the bite on camera. He missed the buzzbait, so I threw it back. I was 99% sure that that was a gator. Deep down inside, I was hoping it was a smallmouth. Throw it back in there, and he annihilated it. The morning was absolutely full of gators, northern pike. I was getting a little down on myself, thinking, I need to catch some bass. I came all the way here to have like a great bass fishing day. All that stuff I caught gators on, all stuff I've fished before. The afternoon, I decided that I would start exploring the lake, go look for new things. Lo and behold, I found some bass. Great day on the water. We're loaded up. We're hitting the road home. As soon as we get there, I'll tell you how important it is to be swimming that jig. Home, sweet home. Got the grass cut last night too. Persistence is the word of the day. Man, I was going to give up in the morning when it seemed like all I could do was catch pike, but I kept at her. I got some bass on the boat. If you're not swimming your flipping jig in between dock or on sand piles or on rock piles, you're insane. Let me show you. We got that big smallie on. My favorite way to fish bass. Blue 916 mini flipping jig. I'm throwing her on the Daiwa Tatula 150. We talked about this the other day. It's on all my favorite rods. My rod, Daiwa Tatula 7.4. I think it's a medium heavy cranking bladed jig rod. The Brent Ailer, awesome for flipping the jig. See that? She's got backbone, but she's also got some bend. That way when you get those swimming fish, you're going to get an extra second. When that fish grabs it, your rod's loading, you're not gonna pull the hooks on that. Let me show you the key to swimming my jig. If I'm gonna use a jig to dunk deep weed, and I'm totally committed to dunking deep weed, I'm going to use your basic trailer. This thing, it has no kicking action, nothing. It's just gonna fall in the hole. It falls directly down. That's the best to use when you're dunking weed. If you're gonna fish docks, this is the kind of trailer I like. This big old claws, when they're falling, they give a kicking motion. Cast this thing in between the docks, let it hit shore. This is a 7:3 gear ratio reel. I'm telling you, when I'm bringing this back, I'm reeling as fast as I can. I want that jig for that I can see those claws kicking underneath the surface, bubbling. And what does this look like to largemouth and smallmouth bass? It looks like a small bluegill in a panic, trying to get away, fleeing. And that's what bass eat. So next time you're out on the boat, don't give up. Flip the jig in between docks, swim that baby. You will catch more fish. Another day in the books. That was a grind this morning, and then in the afternoon picked up. As soon as I started, adventuring to new water on that lake, finally found some decent fish. Swim that jig, kids. I'm telling you, those are the bonus fish that you don't expect that come out of nowhere and inhale your jig that win you tournaments. That was certainly a 4-pound smallie. That would have helped us in either day of the tournaments, would have put us in the top 3. Kind of sometimes need those bonus freebies that just come out of nowhere, annihilate your jig. As much as tournament fishing and fishing in general takes skill, there's still a huge percent of it that's just lucky. And in order to get lucky, I'm telling you right now, if you throw that in between every dock you fish this summer and you just burn that jig, you can post pictures of giant bass you catch on the live well. You'll be surprised, and it's one of those things where you got to really get confident in it, and then you'll do it all the time as soon as you see it pay off. In sad news, Daiwa Canada's Kyle Crothers' mother-in-law passed away. He's a super awesome dude. Thoughts and prayers with him and his family. He is one of the nicest guys in the fishing industry. So we're thinking about you, buddy. Tomorrow there's supposed to be gigantic thunderstorms across Ontario, and I mean huge thunderstorms, so we're gonna take the day off. Thursday, if we get those big storms, Thursday will be a slow day of fishing, so we'll skip that too. But then I hear it's supposed to get incredibly hot, and that should get the fish set up, and most importantly those smallmouth to set up deep in Rice Lake, and then we're gonna put a lot of time into pre-fishing those for the big CSFL event. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, that Brent Ailer rod that I tied today, didn't make like 10 casts with it, but that rod is legit. It's got carbon fiber guides on it. I owned a lot of high-end drop shot rods in my day. I cannot wait to go somewhere and, like Rice Lake, catch some deep water smallies on that bad boy. I hope the tips helped you. Swim that jig. Follow on Instagram, Facebook. Join the live well. We'll get a contest going up there soon. I'm gonna go put last night's webcast on iTunes and SoundCloud. I'm gonna edit this in the morning. I'll see you soon.